Hello, everyone. Glad to have you here. So today is, we're getting towards our last class in September, and we're also getting towards the end of the first half of the second section. But I always think of the second section as having two halves, and we have come a long way. So today we're going to work on balance some more. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the essential aspects of balance. And we're going to review everything that we did last week. So for those of you who weren't here, this is your chance for questions or your questions on anything else. And then we're going to go into one new transition, which is a transition into grasp the bird's tail, which we're going to, so you'll have another one. And this transition occurs several times as we move forward in the form. So we'll be doing that today as well. So I hope you enjoy it. Feel free to ask questions and keep the class lively. Also, if you have a comment, feel free to comment. So let's begin. If anyone has any comments actually about the balance exercises we had last week, it turns out you're not on gallery mode, so I'm just gonna put you on gallery mode for a second. So I want to ask folks if how challenging were the balance exercises from last week? Are you ready for a next step? Review of that and ready for a next step, or not? We can also review those. I'll tell you what, I will review a little bit what those were, and then I will, and then we'll go on with some more balance exercises from there. So let's begin with that. Michael, there's a little bit of background noise. If you can make sure you're particularly careful with what you're doing when you're near the computer or microphone, that would be useful, or mute yourself. Thank you. That sounds great. So if you want to start here, let's go with this one. Michael, I did want to tell you, we are hearing your computer, so I hope you're hearing us now. I mean, so we're going to do this. This was what we did last week. And this, right? Remember that? And this was one of our exercises. So this week, and we did it on both sides. So we can do that on both sides again. I'm going to just do it twice. We did a few others. We did heel and toe, this kind of thing. I'm not going to go through everything today. And you can just have your hands wherever your hands made sense, right? That's what we did last time. And as folks were saying beforehand, some days your balance is good, some days your balance is not good. All right. I want you to think particularly today about the fact that it's actually the first principle. The first principle in Tai Chi is that your head is always lifting up. One of the things folks talk about sometime in China is the goddess of compassion has a golden cord, just gently, gently, gently helping people suspend themselves from it. So let's just try that again. We're going out, but be very conscious of that golden cord or whatever you want to use for your body being suspended. And then on the other side. Nice, really nice. Okay, so now let's just take something else. How about keeping that sense of being suspended? Keeping that sense of being suspended, and you're suspended over this whole foot, so you should feel that whole foot, right? And remember, you don't want to hip out. Tuck that hip in. Keep the center of you right down here, centered right into where your heel and foot is. That's where you should be. Then we're going to do like this, and then our arms are going to go forward as our foot goes back. Can you do that? And here, and here, and here. Nice. A little more challenge, right? Let's do it on the other side. So here we are. We'll put our foot forward. Now the arms go forward as our foot goes back. Nice. Yeah. So this builds your strength. All right. Now you can also do this exercise this way. All right. So not only do we do it forward and back, but we can do this, right? Remember we were doing this? Well, how about we put our arms out? Well, you can think you're dancing, right? You've done this before. Nice. It's Tai Chi, so maybe we do it this way, right? So pick your pleasure, right? All right. So we're going to do it on this side, right? Same thing. And dancing, right? We've done that before. Nice. Or Tai Chi style, right? Where our arms have these beautiful bends. And you know that middle forearm where those fingers always point? You can do that. You have nice body shape, right? So we don't want to be here. We don't want to be like this. We want to be like, did you see that body shape? Remember? So we want to have that nice rounded body shape. And on the other, so we're putting that foot out and in, and then, you know, the arm, I'm sorry, I was doing the arms to that side before, but we're going to do it actually counter arms now. And on the other side, we're going to do it counter arms. Does that make sense? All right, so that's your new thing for today. I really want to get a sense of this line. So we are now going to practice everything we know so far in the second section, but I'm going to call it a little differently. So here's what I'm going to do. I want you to be really conscious to the extent that you have a mind for that today. You may not. You may be like, I don't even know. I'm forgetting how to do this move. That's fine. Concentrate on the moves. But if you want to work on your balance, I'm suggesting that you think about this head pushing up and body suspended feeling as you do it. And where is that moving? When are you putting all of that? Every once in a while, all of that will be right like this. Can you find those points? So I want you to notice when your balance is shifting all the way onto one foot. And there's two ways that can happen in general. One is it can happen and we'll actually bring the other foot all the way in to neutral. And sometimes that doesn't happen. Our foot comes up and we're like this, but we're still balanced, right? It's not a moment when it's at neutral. Well, actually, yeah, I guess it's all the same anyway. You're balanced. You're still balanced over that point. Let's see what we can find out. I haven't actually looked at all of those. So I think I just said something that was misleading. So wipe that out. And for now, let's just find those moments when you might be like this, but that's all right. You've been there before, right? That's all right. You're still keeping your weight here. All right. So let's find that as we do it. So here we are. Going to go into that prepare. Remember what that is. Remember at your feet, your weight is equally divided on both feet. Your knees are soft. You're about to sit in a chair. Now I want you to really concentrate for a moment on the fact that your head is gently lifting up, and don't worry, you don't have to do any work at all because the goddess of compassion is going to hold it up for you. Just let that happen. Let that happen and let your body be suspended and just your weight sink down. into the lower part of your body. The upper part of your body is light and lively. And now we're going to do embrace tiger, return to mountain. As we do it, I want you to be conscious of where your body's shifting weight is. And now, as you've gone back and you're lifting that foot, where is your weight? How balanced were you? Roll back. Be conscious of the shifting weight. All sorts of things are happening. Press, push, fist under elbow. Now you're going to move all of your weight over your right leg. How does that feel? Oh, your left leg can move. Just get conscious of that. And again, as your right foot comes forward, your body just maintains balance. You're never stopping, and yet your balance is stable at those moments you're moving your feet. All right, we're going into repulse monkey now. So our weight shifts back over that right leg, and now you can just move that left leg back until it roots. Then you shift your weight. Number 2. Number 3. Diagonal flying, shifting. Notice that we're shifting our weight here all over our left foot. And then we turn while it's there, shifting it onto our right foot for raised hands. Then all the way back to our left foot as our right foot needs to come in. White crane, all our weights back, and step. Just want you to be very conscious of these transfers and how you're we're doing brush knee now, completely filling our right leg, stepping out with our left, beginning to fill our left leg. Needle to sea bottom, filling our left leg, bringing the right leg in. Filling our right leg, being balanced, changing to the ball. Coming down. Coming up for fan through back. Our weight gets to the back. Then we can move that left foot. Turn body chop with fist. Our weight has to go all the way in the diagonal, over, almost all the way. I mean, there's a little on your heel, but you take as much off your heel as you can. That allows you to make this turn to the corner. Then pivoting on that right foot as your weight goes back. Once you're all the way centered, then out you come to chop with fist. Parry, block, and punch. Remember, this is our fist comes up and rotates. Our weight's coming back. Our weight comes all the way back. Then our right foot can come in and out, one line, two sides. Then forward into the rest of parry, block, and punch. So you can work on your balance when you practice. In fact, for those of you who were thinking that the kicks are really different, in a lot of ways, they're simple. they're simpler. So don't get scared before we've even done them because they really are simpler, because you're not trying to move, to keep moving all the time and not stop. And I mean, you are, but you're sort of, most of the time you'll be staying in one place. So, you're not kicking and leaping or doing anything like that, right? You're going to be just fine. So this is another practice you can do, and it will make you stronger. Anytime, Tai Chi is slow in part because it makes you stronger. So, and being suspended and having your head up will help your balance. Any questions about this? Was that an interesting exercise? Is anyone able to do it? Okay, good. I know your head comes in and out and in and out. And if you had bad balance, that's, in a way, that's good too, because you get conscious of it and you start to say, okay, how do I do that? So that should be good. Yeah, Erlyn.
So in a lot of other physical things that people do, they always talk about like core and your abdomen. And so I don't know what's going on here. Is it just like hanging there? Are you trying to like, I mean, is it like navel to spine? That's often for like other things, but what is your belly doing right here?
So you're still, this is a really good question. I'm going to answer the way I would answer. And using what I have been taught, but I have never asked that question before. So so I haven't gotten an answer from someone else. Hey, Michael, I hear something going on, which I hope is a good sign. If you can hear us, could you please mute? I can give you the feedback that it was a little garbled sounding, which was interesting.
Yeah. I'll call you back.
Okay, sounds good. All right, why don't you mute if you're staying in. So the question is, what is the, let me just go ahead and he's got it. Good. All right. So whenever we do Tai Chi, remember, we've talked about certain aspects of our body posture. One of them is we don't like do this. We don't like bring our navel to our spine. Do you see that? However, we also do not do this. We don't do this either, right? Where we want that feeling, of sitting in a chair, like the chair is just an inch below you and you're just starting to reach for it. That's going to align your spine. What we want is, and if you've been watching Master Yang's videos, he refers to it as the waist. That's the more advanced term. I've been talking about your upper body turning, but actually so much of everything you do at the bottom and in the top of you in Tai Chi is governed by this little area right here of your spine. And you start everything from there and you finish everything from there and you modify everything from there and you throw an arm from there. It's all done from this place in your spine and near the center of you. All right. So what you want is that from the top of your head through that point, you want it to be going in the right direction for whatever it is that you're doing. And in these kinds of moments that I've been pointing out, generally speaking, it's like what I talked about your Tai Chi pole. Now, you want to keep that spine from doing this or doing this, right? You want to keep it, and you want to make sure that, and this is that as you relax this area, because a lot of us walk around like this, as you relax it and let it go straighter down, so it's down, you don't stop using your glutes. You still are going to need to use your glutes. So to help control your body. So I mean, that was one of the things I did when I started learning how to relax this. I was sort of relaxing everything, and you really the glutes are going to help to stabilize you. So keep the glutes going, but it's just a stretching. The best thing for it is to just say, think of that feeling. It's just like work on this thing of, I don't know if you can see, it's a really, really small change. Do you see in how I'm tipped? I'm not doing this, but naturally I'd be a little bit out this way because most people are. It's like making your back flat. And you make your back flat actually by lengthening. That body suspended helps you do that feeling. Anyway, that's my maybe not so quick answer on what you're doing there with that. I mean, you have to have the body integrity, right? So what do you keep tight? It's sort of nothing is tight, but yeah, with what you're doing. All right, so let's go over what we did last time. Do we have any questions about anything else? What we did last time was the transition into parry, block, and punch after chop with fist. Are we good to go over that again? Okay. So I'm just going to remind folks of it first this way. Let's see. Chop with fist. We're here. We're here. And as we pointed out, when we're here, where this isn't all the way back here, it's here, and we have this body shape, right? So that's where we are. I'm sorry, right foot's forward, right foot is forward, right? That was my bad. And that was the issue, right? How do we get into parry, block, and punch from here? Because the wrong foot seems forward. So what we did is just like, or very similar to what at the beginning, to what we did in the in rollback at the beginning of the second section. We're going to bring the right arm up as we shift back. We'll be shifting back at this point. Shift back, bring the right arm just up like this, and rotate and out. Then we're just in parry, block, and punch. Keep the weight going back. We haven't done that before. Keep the weight going back, and then you come out one line, two sides at this point. Then the rest of it is parry, block, and punch. So let's do it together. So you're not having to deal with, I'm seeing it on the screen one way and I'm doing it another. So we are here. So our right hand is palm up. We've chopped and we've also struck with our left arm. All right. As our weight is shifting back, and as our weight is shifting back, left arm rotates and right hand comes up and out. Now, my weight is about halfway back and I'm on the heel of my right foot. I continue to come down and come in and out. One line, two sides in this position. Then stand on the right foot. Remember that, this is parry, block, and punch. All our weight is there, left heel is up. Remember, your head is still straight up. Spin. Bring the other foot forward into a bow step. and then punch. So let's do that from that angle again. So let's see, where were we? Here. Okay, right foot's forward, right bow stance. And left arm rotates, you're coming back, right arm up and out. And as you pull your weight fully back, you pulling down and into parry, block, and punch. That right foot comes in and out. So at the moment, it touches the right one line, two sides, right foot touches one line, two sides. At that moment, you are fully swung. It's a swing step. Then stand on that right foot, just like you do in parry, block, and punch. Now, have your head up, have a really, really good sense of balance. Spin step, block out with your left hand, root with your left foot, and punch. Turn your upper body as you punch. And your left hand, your left arm just bends a little. You come to it. You don't have to move your shoulder back or anything like that. Let's do it from this side. So, oops, sorry, right bow step from here. And parry, block, and punch, coming up with that right hand and out. Left hand has rotated fully back. Swing step. One line, two sides. Go stand on that right foot as you come up. Then standing on that right foot, spin, parry, block, step out. Make sure right here that you haven't done this. You haven't opened your shoulder too far. Make sure that you are in a good body shape, right? With a rounded back and sunk chest. Moving your weight forward, punch. This is just like parry, block, and punch. It is parry, block, and punch. How's the transition part of that? Everybody clear on that? It's very similar. Remember when we were doing, we found ourselves in, here we go. So I can remember, just easier to do it, right? When we came in Embrace Tiger, we had a right foot forward. Remember that right hand came up and the left arm rotated and we were moving back. Remember that? And we moved back all the way then, and then we just turned. But it wasn't all the way because we still had weight on our right foot, right? For when we were doing rollback. It was still a good bow step. So 40% of our weight was still, or 30%. This is the exception that proves the rule. In this case, it's 30% rather than 40% because your weight distribution is just different. But and then we were finishing Grasp the Bird's Tail, remember? So this is very, very similar to that. Our weight is forward. I mean, our right foot is forward. We didn't want it that way. So we're gonna bring this up, out. You see, this is this very similar position. Then we come back and bring the foot in. From here on out, however, as we step, it's the same parry, block, and punch. Our left arm follows that right. We spin and punch. How's it going? Questions? So I know some of you have been challenged with vacations and everything else. So I want to actually offer to everybody. I've said this to a few of you before, that if that happens to you, you don't have to like do everything from the videos. You can ask me if there's a way to kind of get a makeup class, and we can do a makeup class. So don't worry about that. We can make things happen if you're away for a while. All right, so shall we go on? See what's next? All right, so we come to the end of parry, block, and punch. We have another transition issue. So we want to get into right word off and do the rest of grasp the bird's tail. But here we are, we've done parry, block, and punch. We've done parry, block, and punch. How are we going to do right word off? Well, this, for some of you, may be a little reminiscent of a part of fist under elbow, or maybe not. Okay, so you're going to come back a little bit and nothing moves. Going to come back a little bit and nothing moves, but something changes because we're very, very conscious of our weight now. We're going to bring the weight into our left heel. You got that? Bring the weight into our left heel so we can pivot on that heel. We've done this before, that kind of thing. So we're going to come back, and then all sorts of things are going to go rotate. This hand's going to rotate. This arm's going to rotate. Okay, so this forearm and hand is going to rotate and change. This one's going to change. Your right one's going to change. And you're going to turn out. Okay, so let me show you how it goes. So we were here. We come back here. So it didn't just rotate, it also pulled. And there's one thing I haven't done yet. My weight is still mostly back. What we want to have happen is we come back, we rotate, and then we come forward. And I'm going to show you what angle this is at, but what helped me, my image, I've never heard anyone else do this. Do you see how my weight's a little forward, by the way? See, you could, it's not like this. You see that? It's a little at this point. Okay. This, if you imagined a pole, like you were holding on to a pole that was right here, right to here, right? That's what you're doing, okay? So, I mean, that's what helps me to get it in the right place, right? That's what helps me. And when I watch Master Young, it looks like that's what he does. So from here, we're coming back into the heel. That's all that happens. Then rotate, and the right hand, then you're going to come forward. The right hand comes down, pulls out. So it's just you were straight. How am I going to do this? Straight. You came back. You went out. And I want you to think that this is a lot like when you were connecting with somebody it was like a fist under elbow. We did that to the corner. Do you remember that? There's another place you've done it too. Then we're going to stand up and look at this. This is what we've done before to get into right ward off. Remember this? So I'm going to show you right ward off now from left ward off, and you're going to see the same thing. So here's left ward off. And we went like this. And then all our weight went to the left. Remember that? Look at these hands. They're the exact same. Now the footwork is a little different because we're in a different position, but the hands are going to be the same. So some people talk about this as a word off. As you know, it is a word off because technically word off is I'm setting my boundary. This is my boundary. You can't get in. This is where I'm not going to let you pass this point. Right? And here we go. You're not going to get past this point. But but when we do our first right word off, I mean left word off, do you notice that this arm is down here? And yeah, it's different. It's different. But we do this. You see that? That's how we got into right word off before. So here, you don't have to go there very far. This is actually simpler. You're going to shift back a little bit, put that weight in your left heel, rotate this arm, rotate this hand, and I want you to start to think of it as you go forward, think of it as you've got a pole that goes from here to here. You're holding that pole, okay? Then you're going to transfer, you've transferred a little of your weight already, but you're going to push with the back foot and grab, pull. And when you do, I didn't do it that time. So when you do, and you're rotating this arm to grab, pull, you're going to release this fist. And it's going to continue to circle out and then come in as you step forward, close step. And you finish. So we're going to do it from another view. Let's do it from this view. So where are we? Here. Here. Okay. From here. We're going to shift back. I know you're looking over your shoulder. And out. We got that? We got that. Okay, now don't be back here, be up here. The majority, it's not a lot of your weight, but the majority of your weight is there. It's like more than, it might be 60%, okay? Then, like kind of like a bow step. Then open your right fist and grab, pull out a little bit with your left arm. Standing on one foot. Close, step for a bow step. And then into right word off. Let's do it from here. Let's see if we can, yeah, you can do it from here. From here. Okay, that's under parry, block, and punch. Left foot forward, no, yes, left foot forward. Left foot forward. Coming back. Rotating. And then moving a little in that direction to weight that left foot. And you pulled out a little bit so that, how far out is it? It's kind of my hip width. My shoulders are turned. If my shoulders weren't turned, it's kind of where my shoulders are. But it's the side of my body. Then push with that back foot. Rotate and open that arm. Finish the circle. I mean, you wouldn't stop like that. Closed step. You've rooted. And then right word off. So let's do that again more quickly. From parry, block, and punch. Coming back a little, rotating, and connecting with somebody. You're connecting right here. And stand on that left foot. Grab, pull, close, step, and right ward off. I think it's probably easier from here for you to, is it, to see? Maybe not. We'll go back to this one though, so you can see other things. Coming back, out, weight forward, connecting, grab, pull, close, step, right ward off. Again, coming back, 3 rotations, stand, grab, pull, circle. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. All right. Follow me this way. So you've punched, your left foot is forward. Coming back, 3 rotations. So you see where my arm is? Just right down right here. Now, that arm's going to pull out a little further. Close, step. Right ward off. And one more time. Shifting back, 3 rotations. Shifting forward, grab, pull, close, step. So questions about this? How crazy is this feeling?
Honestly, I am too confused to have a question yet. And
Okay.
even.
Okay, so we're gonna go. So let me just tell you something that's gonna make you feel better, I hope. So this recurs again and again. There are several movements, like parry, block, and punch is one of them. There's several movements in the form that any teacher teaches more than the others, because it's just almost impossible for people to get it until, you know, the 4th time or something. And they're always faking it. Eventually they admit it. And there's something about this. It seems so simple, and yet it is not. And I think part of it is that there's just not a good angle. I'm going to put this on, which I've been using less recently because, and I've been facing you more. And part of that is just that, well, as time goes on and you're in Tai Chi classes, people won't do those things and they'll face you and they'll do it. So, you know, eventually you figure it out. So, but I'm going to put this on and let us see if we can. I'm going to come close and we're going to just do the hands. Okay. So let's do it. Does this work for you? I don't know if this works for you, but then you can see it, right? You can look over your shoulder. So the first thing, you're moving back and this doesn't change. Then the left arm's going to do this. And the right arm is going to rotate like this, but keep your elbow down. Rotate like this. And pull down. Okay? So you started like this, no changes the first move back. Then there's this rotation and this rotation. And it doesn't kind of stop right there. So then this keeps going. Then it kind of comes like this as you move forward. And then as you grab pull, remember you rotate to grab pull, this right arm opens up until you're kind of in this position. You're not really in this position, you're in this position. Then you're going to come across this way. That's your close. Nice. And then up this way. Right. Which is familiar to you, except again, you got there from a different way. You can't really believe it. Okay, so we're going to try it from here where it may be a little harder to see. So when we first go back, we don't do anything. And then if three things rotate, one is our body and our foot, but our left arm and our right arm are rotating. And then they end up in this position. Nice. They end up in this position where the eye of this, you know, that hole right there is like this. Yeah, exactly. Then as you go to really finish shifting your weight forward, you're rotating your left hand to grab pull, and this hand comes a little farther out. And then it comes in as you close. And then there you go. Now there's also all the turns of your upper body that there were before. So let's try with me facing you and see what happens now. That's really hard, right? So we're going to come back, nothing changes. Then we're going to ward off. This outside point right here is going to go contact somebody so I can grab them and pull them, okay? So I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to go with that arm. I'm going to turn my body and connect it. Meanwhile, this hand's starting to journey. Then it opens as I shift my body and I grab pull. I close, step, and I come forward. And then I'm in grasp the bird's tail, right? I just move forward from there. Okay, we're going to try it from each direction again. So from parry, block, and punch, shifting the weight back onto my heel, onto my heel. Now, we're going to put our attention on this corner over here. So my left leg turns out with my foot going to the corner, and I connect with somebody right here. Meanwhile, we're going to go back to here, here. Meanwhile, my right arm is going to rotate, and my right arm's going to bend a little bit and start pulling out. Then, and one other thing that happens, I did not do it that time. You're going to come back. Once you talk about it, you can't do everything at once. I want you to really think about coming back, rotate, connect, move forward. This is like a yin yang thing with you're moving forward into the person here. Meanwhile, this arm is moving back on that diagonal, on a diagonal of the direction this point of this arm is moving. So from here, nothing changes except you're putting the weight in the heel. Then these three things happen and your weight starts to come forward. You are connecting right here. I've already got my weight right now in the ball of my right foot. Then I push with that ball. I'm opening my right hand and I'm grabbing and pulling with my left. My gaze is still with where I'm grabbing and pulling. Then my right arm's going to come across my body. Close step. My gaze goes right towards this other person. And right ward off. From here, shift back, no change. 3 rotations. And our weight is forward, just a little forward. Then stand on that left foot, heel your right foot up. You've opened your hand, your right hand. Close step. Moving forward into right ward off. Okay, now questions. Oh, a question.
To me? You don't?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so thank you. I will watch that again and again, and it feels a tiny bit better now. But one thing about so when you're paying attention to this corner as you step towards it, and then you grab and pull, all the action is happening towards the corner until you change your focus to forward for that final.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay, great.
Yes. So your gaze is forward here. And your gaze follows, you could think of it as following towards that corner, right? It's definitely at the corner here. Corner, corner, grab, you're grabbing that person. Now you've got them. So it comes back with the left arm. As the arm comes to center, your gaze comes to center. You root and your gaze stays there. You're applying the technique.
Okay, thanks. That makes perfect sense now, because your left foot is at 45 degrees, so that would obviously be a bow step towards the straight, not the corner.
You know what I didn't do? I'm so sorry. I didn't do that. Let's just real quick do it from here. So we were here. The footwork, right? The footwork is we shift back part way. We come out. And then we just move forward into a bow step. I should have done that. You always start with the footwork. So you got it. All right, good. You see, what happens is once it's integrated, you just think it's a lot simpler than it is, and I think that's one of the problems. So I really appreciate problems with teaching it and with learning it, because I know it took me a while. So let's see if we can just do everything we know in the second section real quick. Into our second section, prepare. Remember, we're going to focus. I'm just going to call the moves, but keep track of, until you get to the very end, keep track of your head being up and shifting to the right, turning to the right. And we're doing embrace tiger, return to mountain. Roll back. Press. Push. Fist under elbow. Repulse monkey, 1, 2, 3, diagonal flying. Raise hands, step forward. White crane spreads its wings. Left brush knee and push. Needle to see bottom. Fan through back. Turn body. Chop with fist. Parry, block, and punch. Step up and grasp the bird's tail. Right ward off. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. Beautiful single whips, folks. All right, so your mind is just like, oh, oh no,
No, that was really good. Especially going over that last little part there. So,
oh, good.
Helps to get that right, the little details there. So
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. So anytime, yes, for everybody. It's really important. Without the feedback, it's really hard to know, and it's really hard to remember just how crazy that move is. So let's end class. Thank you all for sticking with it.
thank you.